Yes, guys and girls, welcome back to another episode. Myself, LL Crypto. So I hope you're having a fantastic week. We are coming to the end of another week, and where is Bitcoin going in the short term? Also, for the long term, we're almost at the end of the year, 2 more months, and usually November and December is quite parabolic. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go through the Bitcoin price, the current price right now. As we can see, is trying to break above its all-time high over this past week. So, yeah, we're going to jump into this in just a second. And also I have a special guest looking at the current price, but also we're going to talk about the psychology of a market cycle. So stay tuned for this. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Leave any comments in the section below, and let's get stuck into today's content. Okay, welcome. So today, the special guest I have with me is Edo. Welcome, Edo, to my channel.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Excellent. So like I just said at the outset, we're going to check out the Bitcoin price, where we're going to go, and also the psychology of the market. So, Edo, have you ever seen the graphic of the psychology of the market?
Not until today.
Okay, so we're going to get stuck into that. Let's do that now, actually. Then we can analyze the Bitcoin price. So, for those that are trading, investing, just stay tuned to the very end, and we're going to jump into the Bitcoin price. We'll look at the MACD, how it's flipped bullish on the weekly, and also what's going to happen next week in terms of the price, especially because a massive event is going to happen on Tuesday. Most of you probably know what I'm talking about, but we'll jump into that. So we've got a lot of exciting things to get through. Being in crypto is exciting. I don't know if you agree with me, Edo.
It is. It is. I mean, it kind of help us to learn different things about finance altogether, but also to see how cryptocurrency also affect the whole economy. I think that is still is very important for everyone to get excited about this market.
Yeah. So we're going to see this with the psychology right now. Let me just go over to this page. So this was actually based on the 2017-2018 bull run. The psychology of people. I mean, you can clearly see what happens through a cycle, the 4-year cycle of the Bitcoin bull run. It's the same for all of the crypto assets, because when Bitcoin has its rally, then the rest of the altcoins explode. When it dumps, then the altcoins dump a lot harder. I mean, altcoins go down 98, 99%, most of them. Bitcoin goes down, 50, 60%. I don't remember the last, how far we went down. Was it like 50, 60%? I think the last...
2021?
Yeah, from into the bear market. We went down to 15,000 from...
20,000.
So from 72 down to 15,000, what percent is that? It's quite a big... 65, 70%. So when Bitcoin does that, then the altcoins go down a lot more. So you probably experienced this. I've experienced this in the first. So I jumped into Bitcoin altcoins back at the end of 2017. So I was actually at the euphoria, the thrill, even the complacency. So I went through all of this. And then for the next cycle from 2020, 2021, I learned a lot from that cycle, and I would say I didn't experience all of those different facets, the feelings of the market. I would say maybe 50% of them. Made a few mistakes in the last market, but I could solidly say that this cycle, I most likely won't go through most of those things. Hopefully, just all on the left-hand side.
The challenge with this graph is to be able to identify where we are with the current Bitcoin chart. Like, you have all these steps, like the euphoria, the disbelief, and you need to be able to pinpoint and say that the current price of Bitcoin, it matches with this phase on this graph that you showed earlier. I don't know if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So basically, this one, let me just put this here. So yeah, like I said, this is the 2017-2018 bull run, and then we went into the 2019, and as you can see, so in 2017 we had this hope, optimism, belief, thrill. Now, for me, this was the first time we could actually compare a market cycle to the previous one, to the 2013, 2014. And of course, now we can compare the last 2 or 3. And most people, they experienced all this. I would say 90% went through every single feeling when they hit, it's true, I'm a genius, we're all going to be rich. And then they got complacent. The anxiety denial came in. And people at this point thinking, okay, it's not too bad, we're going to go back up. But in fact, we keep going down until we reach capitulation, anger, and then most people jump out at this point where 90% just jump out of crypto altogether. And it's only leaving like the handful of people that are left in it. So in today, that was the 2017, 2018 market. So we can clearly see here. And then for the 2020, it's the same concept, the same feelings. Obviously, the graphic is different, because the last cycle we had a double top, but the actual feeling was still the same. So people were hopeful. They experienced the thrill, the optimism when we reached. I remember when we went past, I think it was when we went past 20K in the December, we just hovered around there. We didn't blow past it straight away. As you can see, if we just zoom in, we had like 1 or 2 weeks where we were just touching the 20K, but as soon as we went past 21K, we just blew up to the upside all the way up to 40,000, and that was people experiencing this optimism. I would say the 40,000 part was the belief. I don't know if you agree with me.
There is a belief there.
So we've got that belief here.
There's a belief that the market will continue to go high, and then when it does go to the part when there is euphoria. Now, for some, it's the euphoria.
We have the thrill first.
Yeah, there is the thrill first.
Which was probably, okay, this is what was it? The belief? Yeah, the belief was this. Then we shot up to the thrill, and then the euphoria was difficult to say that word.
But you know that when there is this euphoria, for some, some they will continue, like, there is also a grade. Some they will just continue accumulating more coin. Like they keep on buying, and others, they will say, let me jump out of the market. So you have, for some, the euphoria is still, okay, we keep on buying, because then we can expect to make more of it, because for some, the euphoria is still a thrill. And then for some, this euphoria is just synonymous as jumping out of the market and then waiting for the market maybe to go down and then you to buy more. So for some, this euphoria could help to have more coin in the long run, and for others, this euphoria will keep them out.
Sure, and when we go and hit that thrill and that euphoria, it's mainly when the mainstream media are in. Your grandma, your aunties, your uncles are all talking about crypto. So if we can't time the market, it's impossible to time the market. But if you're going to take anything from this graphic, then you can't time it 100%, but you can start seeing if you watch or understand people's emotions, then you can kind of have an idea of where we are in the market, if you understand what I mean. So when the masses are talking about Bitcoin, there's different what is it? Coinbase, Binance, people are going crazy, like subscribing to them. There's new products coming out, new exchanges. Then your parents start talking about it. They say you're a genius. It's all over the mainstream media. That's the moment where you know we're probably at the market's peak. If you see what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Like when everybody's talking about it. But then you can either say, because everybody's talking about it, that the markets will keep on going higher and higher. And you hold on to the coins that you have. And suddenly it crashes. Like everybody's interested in the thing, and you think that, because
that's what we saw here, this one. But luckily for us, we had another pump up to the upside. So we probably went down. We went down to the anxiety, maybe the denial, and then we shot straight back up and had another thrill, excitement, second time.
You can only have a look at this graph when everything had already happened.
Yeah.
Like when you are in it, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly which phase matches what. Otherwise, it's too easy.
Yeah.
You see what my point here. Like if you are within, like currently Bitcoin is trading at $70,000.
So let's just look at that then together. So we're currently at 70,000 US dollars. So I'm going to go. Yeah, we'll just stay here because then we can compare the last two cycles. So this, just for everybody listening, this is based on this period here. So from 2017 all the way through to 2019. Then we've had the last cycle. So we can see the hope, the optimism, the thrill, euphoria, etc. We had that bit of a pullback. Well, pullback. It was pretty much a dump. Luckily for us, we had a double top. So those that didn't get out here, maybe they got out around here. And then for the last, 2.5 years, we went all the way down to 15K. So right now, in your opinion, where are we? We're at 70K. This week, we've just touched the all-time high again. We didn't go past it. We got rejected. We're going to jump into that in just a second. Looking at where we're going to head in the short term and also for the end of this year, in my opinion. The US elections are going to probably play a big part in that. But just looking at this for the psychology of the market, where do you think we are right now? What does this look like to you?
You know, it's hard to say. I know you had this conversation many times, you and I. Some, they feel like right now we are the disbelief part. Or what I mean, not really disbelief.
Looks like that.
Like we are here, and what is going to happen from here is that the market will continue to go up. Whereas, personally, somehow, I'm intent on saying that the market will crash a little bit before it will bounce back. Like Bitcoin losing a little bit of its value before it goes up. At the beginning of this year, when I was commenting a little bit on this graph, I was saying that maybe Bitcoin will go down as low as 30K.
Even it hasn't happened. You're still waiting for that 30K.
I'm still waiting on that. I mean, everybody's laughing at me, saying that
I told you you're crazy.
Yeah, I know. I want to take a little bit that.
So at the moment, you still think we're going to go back down to 30K?
It feels almost impossible.
If we do crash, we'll probably come back down to 55.
That's what we observed over the past couple of months. Like, hasn't really gone lower than 55.
That could be the next bear market bottom, 52K. I think will be 50. 50K, 52K will be the next bear market. So the next 6 months for me is going to be the parabolic phase. So looking at this again, in my opinion, I think we are between the optimism and the belief.
Could be.
This section here, it looks more like disbelief when you look at this. But the fact that we've had this extreme pump to the upside all the way from 15K to 70K, we're at the all-time high. And what's interesting is 70K right now, not many people are talking about it. If you go back 4 years, when it was at 70K, the mainstream media were talking about it. Right now, everyone is bored still.
Yeah, even when it got to 70 earlier this year, it generated a lot of enthusiasm. Now it has gone to 70,000, but we have less enthusiasm as what we had before because somehow it became normal. People expect Bitcoin to reach 70,000, even to maintain 70,000. So we can see that there is a key resistance between 60 and 70 that Bitcoin has set over this price target. So reaching 70 isn't unusual for Bitcoin. So it makes sense to think that Bitcoin will go as higher as 100K. What you yourself have mentioned several times.
Yeah, when that is, I personally think we could see that very, very soon. Even we could see $100,000 Bitcoin before the end of this year. Things can move so fast. I know it sounds a bit crazy, especially if you're new to crypto. If you're not new to crypto, you probably understand why I'm saying that, because within a few weeks, we can go up 15, 20K really fast.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Things can go really fast. But 100K before the end of this year.
Do you know what? I'm going to put it right out there. 100,000 at the end of this year.
Well, let's see. Personally, on this note, I'm a little bit conservative. I'm not seeing Bitcoin moving that high.
The only way I wouldn't see it happening is if whatever happens next week with the US elections. Obviously, on our channel, we don't go into the politics, but it plays a big role in the financial markets. I think we can all agree with that.
No, I do agree. So what is going to happen next week? I'm expecting a shift in the market.
This is Tuesday
next
week.
So I don't know if it's going to change the whole thing, or it's just going to be only like a 1 day change of the market, something that suddenly changes the market a little bit, and then the market comes to his position that he had before the election in the US.
Yeah.
But we all have an eye on what happened, what will happen next week, because then it can also help us to know in what direction the market is going, or will go in the future.
Well, on that note, then let's just jump over into the Bitcoin price. So I think enough said is on the psychology of the market cycle. You can find this on Google if you want to take a look at this. But in my opinion, it's a good one method just to see where we are in the market cycle, just for you to, you're not going to time it. If you think you're going to go away with 100% profits, think again, it won't happen. The main thing is when you start experiencing these different facets of these feelings, you want to be taking profits off the table. Nobody gets poor taking profits. So take your initial investment, take your profits, and walk away be happy with a 2x. Obviously, everything we say is not financial advice, just for educational purposes, but just be happy with a 2, 3x. If you get greedy, you're going to get wrecked. Yeah, it's as simple as that. And we see that 98, 99% of the time. You do get some lucky ones that make an absolute killing on a meme coin. It can happen, but quick money also is fast money to lose as well.
But you know, when you have this depression period, those that are new in the market, they tend to sell. But those that have a long experience with the market, they hold on to the market. They hold on to the coin that you have.
You mean newbies?
Now, newbies, when everything crashes, they tend to sell because they're afraid to lose more. Whereas those that have already a long experience with the market, they hold on to what they have.
It depends how long you're in the market for.
Yeah, well, also,
if you're in it here just for a cycle, then it's different to somebody that's going to hold for the next 10 years.
Because if you hold on to your coins for 10 years, like if you take Bitcoin, it's true, Bitcoin had up and down, but someone who has hold on to his Bitcoin for 10 years, no matter how the market has moved,
when 10 years is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's it for the long term. So for me, I've got certain things that I'm here for the long term, the next 10, 20, 30 years. So I don't care what happens on my ledger. But for short-term gains, it's the altcoins. I'm in the market 2 to 4 years with the altcoins, make profits on it, convert them into Bitcoin. The more Bitcoin for me, the better. I would say even Ethereum as well, but Bitcoin is more stable. You've got to accumulate more and more Bitcoin, put it on the ledger. It depends what you want to do. But for me, I'd have that as my pension plan. So it's the next 30, 35 years. So where's Bitcoin going to be in the next 35 years? I reckon within the next 5 to 10, it'll be $1 million.
Yeah, so it's active.
So anyway, let's just jump straight into the current Bitcoin price. So what's interesting is on the MACD, for the weekly, we have flipped bullish. So could we see something like this, where we went from 28K all the way up to 71? So that's almost a $40,000 increase. So we've been on the MACD, yeah. So we flipped bearish all the way back here, and now we've just flipped bullish on the MACD for the weekly. So if you also, I think I was looking at the Bollinger Bands as well on the daily. We're at the halfway point on the daily in the Bollinger Bands. So we did come out. Let me just find the Bollinger Bands. I like the Bollinger Bands a lot. So this is the weekly. Let me get rid of how do I get rid of the MACD? Where is it? Delete panel. There we go. So if we go to the daily, we did come out of the Bollinger Bands, and normally with the Bollinger Bands, we don't stay out of the bands too long. We come back in. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to go to the halfway point on the daily for the Bollinger Bands, and we're going to get a bounce off the $68,000 level. So it looks like we're having a bounce right now off that $68,895 level. I think today and over the weekend, we're going to go a little bit further down. We're going to remain stable over the weekend because of the elections taking place. So basically, a lot of people right now that are in the markets, they don't know, well, we don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict the future. We can't predict black swan events. So if something major happens on Tuesday, then a black swan event could absolutely destroy the market. On the flip side, whoever wins on Tuesday, it could have an outcome. I think it will have an outcome on the market.
Yeah, it should have an outcome. One way or the other, it should have an outcome. The only thing that remains to be determined is, will it be a longer impact, or just going to be a 1 or 2 day event?
So you're probably seeing on YouTube or the channels, if Trump wins, then they're saying it's going to explode to the upside. If Harris wins, we're probably going to dump. For me, I don't care about that. What I care about, Bitcoin does not care about US elections. It doesn't care about anything. Bitcoin does what it wants. So whatever happens short term on Tuesday, well, Bitcoin is still going to go to $1 million, in my opinion, in the next 5 to 10 years. So right now, if we just look at the technicals, let's take away the politics, but look at the technicals. So last week I spoke about this bull flag, and it's playing out at the moment. Yes, we've had a bit of a rejection. That's because we reached the all-time high, and it's not just going to go blow straight past it, like we just saw one example at 20K. It took a few weeks before it went past the 20,000. Then we blew up to 40,000 within a week or so. So in my opinion right now, we're probably going to, over the next 4 or 5 days, just either come down to this level of 68,000, remain stable, and then the market is going to decide what it does based on Tuesday, the elections, or Tuesday going into Wednesday, I think, for the US elections. And then, yeah, let's see what happens. But the price target for this bull flag is all the way up here to at $84,000. So that's me being conservative. You can take this bull flag if you wish, and you can put it on, I usually put it here at the support of the bull flag. Some measure it at here, the breakout, 97,000. Okay. So the reason why I put it here is because I like to start taking profits at the low here. So if you want to measure it from the top, then yeah, 97K. I just put it here to be a bit more conservative. So when it does reach 83,000, I expect it to go higher to that point, but at least at that point here, I start taking profits off the table. If you see what I mean,
it's always good to have initial goals when you are making investment. That way helps when the market is moving. You stick to your goal. That's what can really help you to gain something out of your investment. If you're just in the market without really a clear and cut defined goal, you can easily lose your investment because you just don't know. You just play with the feelings, like they play with the feelings and what people are doing. But if you already have your own strategy clearly defined at the beginning, then as you're mentioning, when the market evolves in a certain direction or the other, you stick to your goals, and that can really help you to make significant gain out of your initial investment.
So yeah, on the 4 hour, very interesting point there, Edo. So here we have come down to that. We've got a bit of a bounce. We have got a bounce off it actually. We've got that support here at 69,000. Let me just put that here. There we go, and change the color to green as my support. So we've got a bounce off it. So are we going to go higher now and come back to our around 72? I don't think it will happen over the weekend.
I mean, the weekend
we could easily roll over. If anything, I prefer that we dump over the weekend so that we form a CME gap just above. CME gaps 8-9 times out of 10 tend to get filled up on the Monday or the Tuesday. So if we do dump down, perfect for me. I'll be looking at a long position. If we do dump down to these levels again, I'll be looking at a swing long position around 67 to 68,000. I'll try and get a small leverage trade of 3 to 5x. And then that's if it goes down.
Yeah, I think that the market will go down because it's a public holiday here in Europe. I mean, if you're in France, and I think this is the case in most of the countries here in Europe. So I expect the market to go down a little bit over these next 3 days. And on Monday, I think that big institutions, they will also be in a waiting mode. I don't think that people will be keen in investing significantly when the market will open on Monday, knowing that Tuesday could have a big effect on the market. So I think that on the next 3 to 4 days, the market will either remain stable or will go down a little bit, and everything waiting to see what happens on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see what happens. So that's just a quick technical analysis here. So the target for this bull flag is still 83,000 US dollars. That's my conservative price. We're getting a bounce right now on the daily. So let's see what happens towards the end of today. So I think for today, that's fine. We looked at the psychology of the market. We've also just taken into consideration the Bitcoin price on the daily, the MACD. So there's a lot of excitement in the market going forward. Again, subscribe to my channel, to Edo's channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, thank you for sticking right to the end. So let us know in the comments section what you think, and stay tuned for more videos. So thanks, guys and girls, and see you next time.